Hello, folks. Welcome to the show. Today, I want to share with you some Philippine scam stories. This is to give you an idea of what to look out for when you are dealing with a Filipina. You might be asking, why expats fall for these scams overseas? I believe they fall for these scams for a variety of reasons. One is that they are desperate for love and affection since there is no working with Western women because of their notorious dispositions. And two, they are looking for sincere companionship. Let me share a story with you. While on vacation in Manila, Philippines for 3 months, a Danish man decided to join Tinder to see if he could meet a Filipina. He came across a beautiful Filipina also in Manila. They got together and started going out to coffee dates and dinner restaurants, even traveling to different places around the Philippines. The relationship seems to be going well. He even introduces her to his friends, which they approved of. One day, after getting off the phone with her family, she told him she needed to return home because of her father's terrible illness. After returning home, she called him and told him about the situation. Her father was admitted to the hospital and she needs some funds to pay the hospital bill. She said she would pay, but she has no money because she is currently unable to work since she must care for her father. She asked, "Can I borrow some money? I will pay you back later." Feeling sympathy for her plight, he asked, "How much do you want?" "Can you send me 5,000 pesos?" she said. "All right. Do you have GCash?" he inquired. She said she didn't and insisted that he send the money to her cousin's GCash account. As promised, he sent the funds. A week later, she told him she needed a little additional money to cover her father's hospital bills. She again reassured him she would pay him back later. Without additional questions, he sent her another 7,000 pesos. The following week, she requested 20,000 pesos. He then asked her, "Can we meet?" She stated she is unable to do so at this time due to her father's ongoing illness. Since then, she has asked for additional money every week, and he sent it to her each time. He requested her to meet several other times as well, but she always declined with additional excuses. Once the amount reached up to 405,000 pesos, he couldn't get a hold of her anymore. It's as if she vanished. He then decided to take a taxi to go to the police station. He shared the story with the cab driver, and the cab driver recommended that he go to a show in Manila called Tulfo in Action, where he hopes to find justice for what he perceives to be fraud. Link to the full video below. I am sharing this story with you to teach expats what happens when you give up your power to a pretty face. Again, my motto from my previous video is, don't be afraid to lose a Filipina. There is always another. In this story, the only amount this man should be out is only 5,000 pesos. The week afterwards, when she said she couldn't meet him, he should have told her to have a nice day. The 5,000 pesos is for the sex he had with her for the time he spent with her. Tell me what you think about this story in the comments down below. You must understand that, while most Filipinos are good hearted and sincere, a small proportion of them take advantage of expats' generosity and innocence. There have been multiple reports of expats being contacted with convoluted stories of family problems, medical crisis, or financial troubles that eventually turn out to be fabrications. Because they may be unfamiliar with local conditions, scammers frequently exploit expat sympathy. To secure funds, they may construct captivating stories. Giving money too soon increases an expat's risk of being a victim of these frauds. It may be difficult to determine the authenticity of these demands, especially if the expat is still adjusting to the social and cultural setting. With regional, cultural, and economic differences, the Philippines is a complex and diverse country. It takes time for a newbie to learn this terrain. Giving money too soon often demonstrates a lack of understanding of local customs and traditions. Expats should spend time learning about Filipino culture, developing friends, and observing how relationships work in the local community. This information allows them to avoid hazards caused by cultural misconceptions and make well informed decisions. Lending money, particularly large sums of money, significantly alters the dynamics of a relationship, which can be especially unstable while it is new. Large sums of money given without a written agreement may be considered as a gift rather than a loan, resulting in future complications. Maintaining personal financial health is critical for any expat, particularly those who are living abroad and may incur additional fees as they adjust to a new country and way of life. Before contributing money to others, expats should think about their long term goals, savings, and financial commitments. Lenders should take into account the danger of not recovering their money back. In addition to financial loss, this situation may produce emotional suffering owing to resentment over perceived betrayal or unreturned kindness. As a result, it is vital that expats understand that financial aid should be given with caution and knowledge of the potential implications. Expats often have more money than natives, and they can be taken advantage of, especially if they appear generous. Unfortunately, some people may take advantage of this situation by pretending to be friends or romantically interested in order to fraudulently solicit money. Many expats have reportedly been victims of scams in which friends or spouses request loans under false pretenses of urgent need. Because there is frequently insufficient time to adequately judge someone's intentions and character, the risk of exploitation increases considerably in newly formed relationships. Motives can be misconstrued if one does not fully comprehend the individual's past. As a result, providing money may set off a vicious cycle of expectations in which the recipient feels entitled to more money, thereby damaging the relationship. Lending money can have a strong emotional impact, especially in new relationships. An expat may offer assistance because they genuinely care about their new contact, but if expectations are not managed properly, this can lead to resentment. Personal relationships are frequently affected by financial transactions. Disagreements over repayment or perceived financial responsibilities can create significant emotional suffering. When the emotional engagement in the relationship is just beginning to emerge, it is critical to talk effectively about finances. Miscommunications may occur, and even if resolved, the connection may be permanently damaged. Early financial help may induce Filipinas to expect ongoing financial support. If the expats later decides to set boundaries, this assumption may lead to misunderstandings and anger. To avoid future problems, it is critical to establish clear expectations early on. Giving money might sometimes make both parties feel indebted to each other. Despite her lack of genuine desire, the Filipina may feel compelled to stay in the relationship out of gratitude. On the other hand, because of their financial contributions, expats may feel entitled to certain acts or allegiance. Such dynamics rarely lead to healthy and satisfying relationships. Trust is typically built gradually while developing interactions with new people. This natural evolution may be hampered by putting too much financial faith in someone too early. Many expats make the mistake of assuming that their new acquaintance will immediately recognize their genuine intentions to help in the same way. If the dynamics of the relationship change over time, or if financial aid is viewed as a lack of understanding of the cultural backdrop of lending in the Philippines, this trust may progressively erode. Any healthy relationship is based on mutual respect and trust. Money can affect the dynamics of a developing relationship. When an expat borrows or offers money to a Filipina they have recently met, the emphasis may shift from emotional attachment to financial dependency. This dynamic could lead to a transactional relationship in which financial considerations take precedence over actual attachment. To ensure that ties are built on compatibility and shared interests rather than financial temptations, expats should avoid money involvement early on and allow relationships to develop naturally. One major financial misstep could have long term consequences and jeopardize an expat's capacity to enjoy their new life abroad. Regardless of how persuasive or urgent the requests may appear, it is critical to set boundaries and prioritize one's financial security over aiding others. In summary, there are numerous risks associated with lending or donating in large sums of money to a Filipino you have just met. These include cultural misunderstandings, the likelihood of exploitation, legal concerns, and negative consequences for one's emotional and financial well being. It is not a sign of distrust or cynicism to reject the temptation to lend or give large sums of money to a Filipino whom one has just met. Rather, it is about self defense while building true connections based on respect and understanding. Expats may take advantage of everything the Philippines has to offer without taking unnecessary risk or regretting it if they set clear limits. Learn about the local culture and build trust. All right, folks, that is all for today's show. Thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a good day.